Welcome back to the channel, guys, and welcome back to PCM 2025 and our Van Rysel Roubaix Career Mode. In today's episode, before jumping into any racing, I want to have a little look at our staff situation. Now, currently, we have only got 2 trainers, and both of them have the modern style. Now, if we have a look at our squad, we can see we do have riders. I mean, some of their styles aren't known yet, but we do have some groundbreaking and traditional riders. So what I want to do is I want to get rid of one of our modern trainers and get a groundbreaking and a traditional trainer on the team. Unfortunately, Samuel, you're going to have to go. Now, since all our riders are French, we're going to be focusing on French coaches. So we'll hire Jordan Avenel here, and we'll also hire Maxime Bouet as well. There we go. We now have a spread of all 3 of the main trainer styles on our squad. Let's start assigning them to riders. First up, I'm just going to assign all the riders that have already got a preference a coach with that style. And then I'm going to distribute the rest of my riders between all the different coaches to make sure no one coach is overloaded with too many riders, reducing their effectiveness. And as we can see now, our riders are evenly balanced with no coach having more than 5 riders, meaning they all have excellent effectiveness. That's all my staffing and admin done. Let's get on to some racing. After an incredibly successful Tour des Alpes Maritimes last episode, we've now got a huge run of one-day races with generally a lot of sprinty finishes and versatile sprints. First up, we've got Les Samyn, then we've got the Tour of the 100 Communes, then we've got some random misc French races, GP Denain, which is a bit of a Paris Roubaix kind of warm-up race, and a few other real misc French one-day sprint races. Today's episode is starting at the Samyn Classic. This is a sprint race, but it is a little bit hilly in the final few kilometres with a slightly uphill sprint finish. So could be all right for some of our versatile riders. Unfortunately still, our riders' fitnesses aren't the great, and we've got a fair few minus days across the board. So let's take a look and see who we'll be riding for today. Currently, Arm and Moran have our best sprint stats on the day, with Moran on 73 sprint and Arm on 74 sprint. So we've got some pretty decent riders, and that'll maybe hopefully get us a shot at the top 10. But taking a look at the competition, there's some serious names in this field, like Alexander Kristoff, Danny Van Poppel, Arnaud Delis, John Degenkolb, Arnaud Demar. So it's going to be a real struggle for this win. But we'll give it our best shot and see what we can do. I think a top 10 today would be an excellent result for Team Van Rysel. Having a look at the finish, you can see it is definitely noticeably uphill towards the line with a rather hilly final finishing circuit. So managing energy on this race is a really important task, especially with that uphill finish. You can't go too early on this one. Okay, we're now entering the final circuit with 88 kilometres to go. Not much has really happened so far, aside from a few crashes. There's a 10-man breakaway with 3 minutes up the road that'll almost certainly get controlled by the sprinters' teams. We're going to stay in position and make sure we're maintaining that energy and not spending too much too early. As we pass the finish line for the second to last time with 37 kilometres to go, you can see our yellow energy on our riders is not looking the best, with a lot of them losing quite a lot of their potential so far. It has been a rather hard race, and the breakaway do still have a minute, even though I don't think they'll have much chance in this stage. And with 15 kilometres to go, we're going to start assembling our lead out. I know I'm butchering his name, I'm sure it's not pronounced like this, but Arm is our leader for today with his 74 sprint stat. Hopefully Moran will be able to give him a good enough lead out to contend with some of the big boys. With 5k to go, Jarnet is taking over the lead out, and we're going to get our energy gel on Arm, making sure he's ready to go for the sprint. Here we go, hitting 99 with Jarnet. Now it's Plancart's turn, 99 for you. We may have gone slightly too early here. Let's keep it going. And 2k to go, 1.8. We are going to launch late here with Plancart. Then with just over 1k to go, Moran's going to launch us with Arm in the wheel. And Arm's going to come out the wheel now and see what he can do. But it's going to be too late for us. Can we get a top 10? The win goes to Soren Verenskold ahead of Arnaud Demar and Arnaud Delis. And we come across the line in 11th place. We just miss out on a top 10. Actually, I didn't notice. Moran actually got 8th. Wow, that's a rare sight on PCM. There are even riders coming in outside of the time limit. I've very rarely seen that happen before. Maybe the sliders are doing something this year. And crossing the line with 57 minutes later than the leaders, we have our last rider on the day. Wow, that was a tough race. But yeah, on the day, we got 8th, 11th and 15th with our riders. A pretty good showing, but nothing to celebrate really. Next up, we've got a pair of back-to-back misc French sprint races. Both of them 1.2 races, so the lowest level of race you get on PCM. And we're bringing Moran as our sprinter for these. Anyway, I think our French sponsors probably care about this race far more than I do. Fortunately, with it only being a 1.2 race, there are no World Tour teams to contend with. I got a bit scared when I saw Soudal Quickstep on the start line, but it is only their dev team. So hopefully Moran has a good chance at the win today. He's got 73 sprint today as well, so we've got something to work with. We finally have some positive days on the rest of our riders. As we come towards the finish, at least there is a bit of a hill zone to make this race slightly more interesting. Let's just fast forward until we reach the hills. With around 60k to go, we're finally reaching the hill zone. And as you can see by the state of our riders' yellow bars, the pace has actually been pretty hot today, with a lot of riders suffering. Let's make sure we maintain position here and don't get ourselves dropped. But we're not going to go too hard either because we do want to maintain some energy. So we are going to just use that strategy of sliding back through the peloton up every climb. Approaching the final climb, and there is only 68 riders left in the peloton. We're going to set a bit of a pace up this to see if we can really hurt some of the other sprinters. Guillaume is going to drill it on the front up here for us. Let's see how many riders we can send out the back. And over the top, we're going to rip it on 99 here. Let's knock it back down now to 90. Make sure when we're killing the other sprinters, we don't kill our own here. And we're going to keep pacing 90, making the most of Guillaume's amazing 74 flat stat today. And now we're going to drop it to 86 and try and maintain that as long as we can. The group is now only 32 riders with a small group of 13 trying to get back in. That worked perfectly. Let's hope Moran can now recover and none of these attacks go anywhere. Guillaume, you can just sit on the front and control attacks, and hopefully Moran will have a good sprint finish. Theo on 75 acceleration is going to do a lead out today for Moran, who, as I said, has 73 sprint and 72 acceleration. I've got a good feeling about this. Let's not bottle it. Guillaume's turn is nearly done now. He's done an amazing job controlling for that long for us. Avioni launching now on 99 with 5k to go. Guide us in. And in fact, we're getting a gap on everyone else. Okay then, Theo, you can take over on 99 as well. And let's see if anyone can catch us, or are we just going to ride away here? Let's put Avioni in our wheel as well. What a ride from the boys here. And we're going to sprint with Theo and sprint with Moran. And let's go. Come on, Moran. Here we go. That is another 1-2 for the team. Even though it's in a race nobody other than maybe our sponsor is going to care about. But what a result. We absolutely ripped the legs off a lot of the opposition there. Somehow even riding away in the final few kilometres. And the MVP of the day, Guillaume, is crossing the line there. What a ride he did, putting us in the position to get that awesome win. Next up, slightly less hilly, but we've got another one of these miscellaneous French sprint races. Let's see if we can get another win on the board. Unfortunately, it's another 0 day for Moran, but it does still mean he's got 73 sprint on the day. So hopefully going to be enough to take another victory. Unfortunately though, this parkour is nowhere near as selective, and I imagine there's going to be a far stronger sprint field at the finish. Okay, final 25 kilometres and the breakaway is just about going to get reeled in. They've got about 50 seconds left. Let's get our boys set up in our train formation. And the breakaway still has over a minute advantage. We do need to be careful here. There is only 16 kilometres to go. So let's make sure, Plancart, you are pacing on the front. Don't let them get away with this one. Okay, some of the breakaway riders are being brought back in from an awesome pace from Guillaume here. Oh, and there's a split in the peloton even. We're getting a gap here. Let's keep it going. Come on, Molly. Let's pace here now. There's no way this survived. No, they've caught us. It was worth a try. And with 8 kilometres to go, the gap is now down to 30 seconds. We should be able to get this back. But our lead out is a little bit messy at this point. Let's get the energy gels on. And let's get ready for this final lead out. Okay, under 5 kilometres to go now. And they've still got 26 seconds. But Avioni, you're going to be doing the work here. And some of the other teams are launching a bit early. Oh, and the breakaway are looking around. Here we go. Let's see if we can do this now. To Bellion, you're going to lead on Effort Curse and 99. Get us through. Yes, don't get blocked. Don't get blocked. Come on, Moran. Don't get blocked. Okay, to Bellion, this is your time to shine. 1.4 kilometres to go. You can launch. Breakaway's caught. Let's go, go, go. And with that corner coming up, Moran, you can go as well. Have we gone too late? Yeah, we've gone too late there. We've got plenty of red left, and it's a second place and a third place for us. What a shame. I think I just played that pretty badly there. I'm still learning this game. If you've got any tips on how to play it better, let me know in the comments below. I have to say, I let the team down a bit there, launching far too late on a fairly technical finish. But we live and learn. Next time, we're going to get another win. It is now time for the big one. It's the first sponsor objective of the series. It is GP Denain, and this is basically the warm-up race to Paris Roubaix, taking in quite a lot of the same cobbled roads. While we don't have the best cobbled stats in the world, we do still have a few riders with 70 cobble, so we should be able to compete a little bit at least. In terms of what our sponsor wants then, they want us to get a top 20, which given this type of race is going to be a real challenge. We're going to have to be properly conservative with our energy here, as it's easy to completely explode in cobbled races, especially with these sliders turned up. Let's hop in game and see how our riders do. With it being the mini Paris Roubaix, there are some serious names on the start sheet. Stefan Kung, Lewis Askey, Oliver Narsson, Anthony Turgis. It's actually not the most stacked this field can be, but it's still going to be a real challenge to survive this one, especially with some of our low cobbled stats. And with 90 kilometers to go, we are now approaching the first cobbled sector. Let's make sure we stay in a good position here and don't get caught behind any splits. Onto the cobbles now. Let's just keep our position and not spend too much energy. First sector survived without incident. Next up, we've got a run of 3 pretty close back-to-back sectors with some climbs involved. And Moran has had a puncture. Let's hope it's not too detrimental to his race. He's not a leader anyway, and it looks like he's managed to stay in the peloton here. Let's get him back to the front to be able to help out as quick as we can. And next, we've got another puncture, Plancart this time. Wow, this pace is high. Our riders' red bars are melting here. There are only 42 riders left in the peloton. We need to really try and survive this. Remember, our sponsor wants a top 20 today. And if we're getting dropped this far out, there's no chance of that happening. And Tebellion's now punctured. We need to be having words with our tyre sponsor here. There must be something wrong. Avioni Protect Jarnet, you are our leader today. Fortunately, it looks like the group with Tebellion has managed to get back in. Let's bring him up onto the wheel. There's not much cobble for a while now. Let's get recovered and let the other teams do the work. And while we're at it, Avioni, you're going to restock our water. Oh no, disaster is striking. Jarnet is just punctured. Come on, let's get back in. We need to drop someone back to help him right now. Avioni, you can wait. And actually, the Plancart group, hopefully then Plancart and Moran can pace in that group and use that group to bring him back in. But what a disaster for our team. These tyres are an absolute nightmare. We need to have words with our sponsors. Right, Avioni, you've got a job to do. Get us back in the peloton. Unfortunately, I think the Plancart and Moran group are just too far back. And we're getting dropped in the group behind here as well. Let's jump across with Arns and Tebellion. Let's make sure that doesn't happen. And let's move up to a better position here. I think Arns is going to have to be our protected rider today, as we're now a minute off the back with Avioni and Jarnet. Oh my god, the team is suffering. This top 20 is going to be a real challenge here. Do not get dropped here, guys. Do not get dropped. We are having to give it all just to stay in the bunch here. This is ridiculous. There are still 38 riders left as well, and Tebellion is now dead. These sliders are really killing riders here. We're just going to keep pacing with Arns and see whether we can salvage a top 20. Hopefully there's some riders that will work with us here. There are only about 20 riders up the road, so if any more crack, we might be in with a chance. Such a shame about Jarnet though. He was having a really good day. Yeah, and unfortunately, Arns is now completely out of energy as well. This is where his race ends. Our only hope now is if enough riders completely blow up and Jarnet manages to pass them all. And up the road, the win goes to Clément Rousseau. Let's see, can we maybe get a top 20? I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. And for some reason, Arns sat up at the back of the group, and I don't think he's even going to get into the top 30 here. We finish in 39th place. I cannot believe how plagued with punctures we were in that race. In fact, that race was probably more affected by punctures than my race at the Gralloch was earlier in the year. And unfortunately, that means we failed our first sponsor objective. I really do think without all that bad luck with the punctures, Maxime Jarnet probably would have been able to scrape through in the first group and hopefully would have got us a top 20. But luck was really not on our side today, with Daniel Arns being our best finisher in 39th place. That's probably going to be all for the proper cobbles this year for us, until hopefully in future seasons we might be in the mix for the real Paris Roubaix. Before then though, we definitely need a new tyre sponsor. Now it's time to lower the standards of competition a little bit with a couple of miscellaneous 1.1 French races to end the episode. Let's hope we get a bit more success here. Finally, Moran has got us a positive day. With a +1 race day, that gives him 74 sprint. So today, we might be in with a chance of a win. Also, Tebellion, +2 day, bringing him to 74 sprint and 74 acceleration. We might have a bit of a contest for who's going to be our leader today. Let's see whose energy's faring the best deeper into the stage. Right, okay, 30k to go, and there are some attacks coming up, so it's about time to get our lead out, set up, and ready to control this finish, as we are probably one of the stronger teams today. There are only 1 or 2 guys left up the road, and they don't seem to be getting anywhere. Avioni, your turn now. Let's make sure the train's all set up with 99s ready to go so we don't mess up this lead out. Making sure we're activating the gels, rolling in as our riders are taken onto the front. Oh, 99 is a little bit too early there. Let's give to 93 instead. It's a bit of a rolly finish, so we need to make sure we don't burn our energy too soon. Oh, and there is a gap again. Someone's lost the wheel. Right, let's keep it going, guys, now. 99. Let's get gels on everyone there. And, right, Plancart, your turn. 99 with Plancart now. Let's see if we can hold this gap. There is one other rider outside There's one other rider outside from our team. This could be an amazing result here. Let's go. Time for Jarnett to take over. Don't block him, Plancart. Don't block our riders. What are you doing, mate? And it looks like the peloton are getting back on, but it might be too late for them because Jarnett is going to launch the sprint now with Tabellion and Moran in the wheel. And with 1k to go, there we go. Tabellion, you go. And Moran and Plancart can hopefully hold on. And that's a 1, 2, 3, 4 for the team. What a result to end the episode. Absolute legends. Even though it's only a 1.1, that helps fix some of the disappointment from the GP Denain. 1, 2, 3, 4 Van Rysel Roubaix riders at the top of that leaderboard. I was going to end it there, but after that result, I think we've got time for one more sprint stage. And it's another MISC 1.1 French race. And you wonder how Cofidis and the like farm so many UCI points every year. We're going to do like what every other French team does, farm UCI points in Conti races. Because if you didn't know, PCM 2025 has changed the ranking systems, so now it's a lot more like real life, with your UCI points being the main decider of whether you get promoted or relegated between Conti, Pro Conti and World Tour. As a Conti team, if we can get into Pro Conti for next season, it will give us access to some far bigger races, maybe even getting in as a wildcard to a couple of World Tour races. They do make us work for these results though. It is 196 kilometres in length, but we're going to skip right to the finish. And look at that beautiful +3 day on Emmanuel Moran. That gives him 75 sprint. Hopefully we can end today's episode with another victory. Despite normally being one of our A-tier riders, Jarnett on his -3 day has been reduced to domestique duties, riding us in to hopefully around 14, 13 kilometres to go. Having a look at the final 10 kilometres then, there are a couple of short, sharp climbs before a flat run to the finish. So we need to make sure we put some pressure on them climbs, making the most of Jarnett's hill stat. Come on, Capron, let's turn that screw. Okay, across the top of the first hill, and oh my god, we're already down to a tiny group again, and we've ridden people off our wheel. Once again, guys, we have got a break. Let's keep this one moving again. Plancart, you can be doing 99 into the descent. Let's see if we can keep this gap. And up the next climb, again drilling it on 99 here. Plancart, let's keep it going. We've got a 22-second gap. Let's see if we can maintain this one. It could be another awesome result for the team. Let's get the energy gels. Unfortunately, Arm is not doing very well here. He might be the weak link in the chain. Guillaume, it's your turn now. I almost messed that one up, but we have got a 40-second gap now. Let's keep this going, guys. With 4k to go, there are some decathlon riders here with Dorian Godon. He is also a pretty good rider, so let's be careful of that. And Guillaume is doing an amazing job here, keeping this move going. It's your turn now. Let's guide us in on 99 here. Just outside 1k to go, we're going to launch. And also Moran, there's loads of corners. Don't throw this now, guys. I think the corners have got us here. And yeah, absolute disaster there. We got ruined by them corners. I should have watched out for that. But, oh well. It really was the Van Rysel show today, though, even though we didn't get a win. Us and Decathlon taking the first 8 spots. That bike must be something special. Look at that. 8 riders away, all riding on Van Rysel bikes. It's a shame, though, we didn't take them top steps. But, to be fair, they are World Tour riders. They probably should be beating us. It does seem too easy to split off the front of the peloton with 4 or 5 riders when there's a hilly run into a sprint. And maybe they need to tweak the AI a bit so the other teams hold your wheel a bit stronger. Right, and that is all we've got time for today. Thank you all for watching once again. And if you've made it this far, please do hit subscribe. Also, we are now hitting the start of April, which means we are only 1 month away from when we're going to have to start opening dossiers with riders. Now, we are going to be mostly targeting young French riders. If there's anyone you think is a must sign for next season, let me know in the comments below and I'll make sure to consider them for next year. Anyway, I will see you all next time.